I'll eat like pizza or something and like get that.
It's only when you eat pizza, baby. You're eating hot fried Cheetos. Hot fried Cheetos.
Hot fried Cheetos.
There's a good chance you're not familiar with it, even though you'll find it in many of the products you use every day. It's in everything, from makeup and toothpaste to donuts, chocolate bars, and in some countries, biodiesel fuel. It goes by many names, but it's most commonly known as palm oil. Global consumption of palm oil has quintupled since 1990. Oil derived from the palm fruit is easy to extract, has a higher yield than other types of vegetable oils, and can be used in dozens of products. But the proliferation of palm oil also poses a massive environmental threat. Each year, palm oil plantations destroy millions of acres of forested land, create billions of tons of carbon pollution, and kill endangered wildlife. All of this makes the palm oil industry one of the worst environmental offenders on the planet. In 2015, over 62,000 square miles around the world, much of it former forests, were committed to palm oil plantations. That's an area 4 times the size of Switzerland. Palm oil is one of the top 3 drivers of deforestation in Indonesia, a country that supplies more than half of global demand. Each year in Indonesia, fires are set to clear forested lands to make way for palm oil production. Just last year, over 10,000 square miles were torched, creating fires so big they could be seen from outer space. All of this unleashes massive amounts of carbon into the air. Fires in 2015 added more than 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The burning of forests to clear land for plantations threatens the 10,000 square mile Luso ecosystem in Sumatra, the largest intact swath of rainforest in Southeast Asia. It's home to hundreds of unique species and is the only place left in the world where orangutans, rhinos, tigers, bears, and elephants live side by side. But their home is disappearing around them. The Sumatran tiger and the Sumatran rhino are threatened with extinction. Only a few hundred of each species exist in the wild, and their habitats are often in the path of land clearing. In Borneo, there has been a 50% decrease in orangutan populations in the past 65 years. This is a direct result of the forest fires and conversion of woodlands for palm oil cultivation. Alongside logging and mining, land clearing for agriculture is currently one of the leading causes of deforestation. If consumers don't demand more sustainable practices soon, the products we buy can and will contribute to the loss of the world's rainforests. You can help by purchasing products that do not contain palm oil, or if they do, were made sustainably. Go to takepart.com/palm oil for more information.
Okay, so?
Well, baby, you wondering why you getting heartburn and chest pain?
But this is Cheetos. It's not like a fried chicken or something, you know?
Baby,
it's hot Cheetos.
Baby,
it's hot Cheetos.
Baby.
The uproar over Flamin' Hot Cheetos, now banned actually in many schools around the country. The snack is wildly popular with kids, with its own Facebook fan page and online competitions about who can eat the most Cheetos the fastest. So why is this snack, which has been around for years, suddenly under fire? ABC's Lindsay Davis has the story.
We gonna show y'all what we be snacking on.
This music video about the bite-sized snacks has more than 3 million hits on YouTube.
Can't get enough of these hot Cheetos and Takis.
But this morning, Flamin' Hot Cheetos are under fire. School districts in California and New Mexico are trying to ban them. And Illinois at Rockford Public Schools, where they used to sell about 150,000 bags of Flamin' Hots each year, they've been taken off the menu.
If children want to bring in snacks that are high in fat, high in calories, that's their choice. They can do that. But we're not going to be providing those kinds of foods.
School officials say the concern is their nutritional value, or lack thereof. Each of these snack-sized bags contains 26 grams of fat and a quarter of the amount of sodium that's recommended for the entire day. And on top of the artificial coloring and flavoring, some experts say hot Cheetos are hyper-palatable, meaning they're highly addictive. And the notion that you can't eat just one, well, there may actually be some science behind it.
Our brain is really hardwired to find things like fat and salt really rewarding. And now we have foods that have them in such high levels it could trigger an addictive process.
Dr. Ashley Gearhart, a clinical psychologist, says children are more susceptible because their bodies are still developing. Frito-Lay, which makes and sells Cheetos, tells ABC News it is committed to responsible and ethical marketing practices, which includes not marketing our products to children ages 12 and under. But some school officials say, try telling that to these kids.
Frito-Lay also told us they don't sell snacks directly to the schools in that district in Illinois that stopped selling the Flamin' Hots, now sells the regular baked Cheetos. We have the real thing here. I don't know, Elizabeth, you think you can do the just eat one?
I don't know.
Just eat one challenge? We'll see. Right. You gotta have more. Here's another one for you, too.
Just kidding.
Get some of them.
Oh, I thought I'd cut that out of your life. I thought it was bad for you.
The flames, the smoke, the suffering, and the outrage. But the story behind it starts on this rutted road at the edge of a forest in central Kalimantan.
So we're told someone deliberately set a fire here in the last few weeks in order to clear the land and plant it with palm trees. Looks like the police have already been here too.
We follow our guide, a local activist. He doesn't want to use his name or show his face, fearful his time with us might make him a target.
Wow. Just look at that. You can tell it happened pretty recently. They didn't even bother to clear the charred debris before they planted the field.
The sign says police are investigating a suspected criminal act, but those responsible achieved what they came for. Oil palms now rooted in the blackened landscape, ready to bear fruit and profits in a few years' time, if the culprits aren't arrested. It happens every year, says Ari Rompes with the NGO Walhi.
This has angered so many people, including me, because my family has to breathe unhealthy air. The law has only been enforced minimally. This will not deter people from burning.
The story here multiplied tens of thousands of times across the country. Illegal fires set to forests and carbon-rich peatlands, a cheap way to make room for pulp and paper, and in particular, palm oil. At least 7 companies have been declared suspects this year. get a better understanding of this complicated landscape, Ari sends us south.
This is pretty typical for a palm oil plantation. The gate out front, but no sign. It's tough to know who actually owns the land and runs the business here.
And the authorities aren't always sure either, since there's no uniform system of mapping land ownership. It's a problem the president has pledged to fix with a one map policy, which could help hold those who burn accountable. But consider this. According to Global Forest Watch, more than 60% of fire alerts recorded between July and October were outside concession borders. And that makes finding the culprits even harder. It's not just about finding and punishing them, campaigners say. Authorities should provide incentives not to burn, especially for farmers and small landholders.
There is a room to improving the yield, for example. If we're talking about employment in Indonesia, then palm oil industry or the natural resources-based industry should think more how to process the raw product here in Indonesia, raw material here in Indonesia.
With the Indonesian economy growing at its slowest in 6 years, palm oil is a sure thing. Indonesia produces more than any other country, an estimated 30 million tons every year.
So this gives you an idea of where it all ends up. Shampoo, soap, cookies, crackers, peanut butter, even ice cream. All because palm oil has a long shelf life, it's versatile, and here's the key thing, cheap.
There's been progress. Some companies have gone palm oil free, and others have pledged to use oil only from suppliers that don't burn. But no one doubts that global demand will only continue to grow. So with the smoke stretching across the region and more than 500,000 people sickened, will this year finally be the year Indonesia turns the corner when it comes to balancing its economy and the environment? David Molko, CNN, Palangkaraya, Indonesia.
The city that never sleeps. Here in the moment on the dark side of the screen. I like the summer rain. I like the sounds you make. We put the world away. We get so disconnected. You are my getaway. You are my favorite place. We put the world away. Yeah, we're so disconnected. Across the sheets, and I'm a falling star, a glimmer lighting up these garden streets.